Hi, and thank you for having me. Yeah, we just, like an hour ago, we just finished streaming an event because this week is Arduino week, because it's the birthday of Arduino. So we have this event that used to be Arduino Day, and now it's Arduino Week. So it's quite a lot of work. So we are
Happy birthday!
Thank you. And every afternoon we stream for like 2 or 3 hours. And today was actually the day where we were streaming. We were discussing the products of Arduino. I mean, one of the things that happened in Arduino, as a lot of people know, it started off as a teaching platform. Then it became the platform of choice for makers. And then what happened is that more and more of these makers started to build things that ended up in companies, and companies started to use Arduino to build things. So they some of the 8-bit Arduinos that were designed for kind of, consumer use, let's call it like that, ended up in products, in machinery, and different things. So that's when we started to work specifically to create a group inside the company that kind of helps companies implement solutions that are based on Arduino. So today we presented some new stuff. Well, I guess the biggest news that we presented today, we launched this thing called the Portenta X8, which is a fairly small board, which has an IMX8 multi-core Linux machine on it and a multi-core STM32 microcontroller with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, a bunch of other things, which is compatible with this Portenta family that we have. And I think it's the first time that we do a Linux machine in many years. And I guess the main thing for us is that it's designed to be something that you plug in and it just works. And it's got this system on the software side where you can deploy containers. So you can run, models developed with Newton on the microcontrollers, or you can run it on the Linux machine, depending on the kind of application. But I guess, yeah, some of the stuff that we're doing right now is designed for robust industrial use cases. I know you guys built a project with the Nikola Sense, which is a tiny postage stamp sized board, which has a bunch of very professional Bosch sensors, and then a Cortex M4 microcontroller with Bluetooth connectivity. And I think that is doing quite well as a sort of sensor platform. It even has this strange, powerful sensor from Bosch that can be trained to understand the gases that are in the atmosphere. So there's an article from Bosch showing how you can detect coffee with it. So yeah, I think more and more of the stuff that we are doing right now is building these building blocks that are used by people in the industry, by people in agriculture, by people who are trying to kind of build sophisticated projects. And we're trying to support as much as possible TinyML use cases. So, our tools tend to be supported by your platform. So it's pretty good.
Totally, yeah. One of the developers that leveraged our platform, they created a use case on Hackster for detecting food spoilage, which was really cool. And there's lots of applications for that, right? If maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Arduino ecosystem, the community, and maybe how people can get started.
Yeah, so the community is, depending on where you set the bar, the numbers can be really big. So we can start by saying that about 39 million people visit the website every year, unique users. So there's like quite a lot of people who are generally interested. They start to, they heard about Arduino and how sort of it's a tool that makes it easy for people to get started with electronics, because it's designed for people that don't have a background in electronics. And so there's we created these development environments that people use to program. Gianmarco was showing the one that we have in the cloud, which is very popular for example, in schools, because you don't have to install anything. It runs on Chromebooks, so it's kind of simple, and you have all your code in the cloud, so you don't have to. And funnily enough, there are some platforms in which the cloud IDE is faster than the local IDE. So on Windows, the compiler needs to kind of fight with the, I guess, with the operating system, while on the cloud, it just goes really fast. So we have these development tools that are downloaded about 30-something million times a year. So we were looking at the IDE is downloaded once every 0.7 seconds.
Wow.
So it's kind of a large download. And in a way, that's kind of the basic tool that allows you to program Arduinos. The classic Arduinos were 8-bit microcontrollers. Now the new ones are 32-bit ARM microcontrollers. So the way people start, it's normally either they are taught Arduino in school. It is actually quite popular for teaching people about electronics in different kind of schools. And we have a whole section of the company that just builds tools for schools. Actually, that team is right now in London, where there is this event called BET, which is like the biggest education event in Europe. They're presenting a few tools. Then other people buy a starter kit, which is a sort of a classic box that contains the classic Arduino Uno, which is the 8-bit platform, and a bunch of components and a book. So you go through 15 projects, and you learn all the basics. And then from there, you have several different kits. If you want, you can buy. But actually, there's quite a lot of free content online, so it's kind of easy. And also, Arduino tends to be available from all the distributors, online stores and everything. So I would say all of our latest efforts are more in the region of enabling IoT on one side and the tiny machine learning use cases, because we think it's very interesting. The tiny machine learning, in my opinion, has a number of interesting values attached to it. First of all, for certain application, it increases privacy, because the raw data never leaves the device. You process it locally, so people can make different use of the data, which is very important in some use cases. There's an aspect of sustainability, because if you're using microcontroller, you're reducing a lot power consumption. And it's interesting because it's very useful in industrial uses. So you have a sensor, you attach the algorithm to the sensor, so there's the most efficient way to process that data is TinyML. So we are super interested in that, and also I'm very happy that tools like the ones that you build are happening, because kind of they take away the, when I try to teach, I still teach, and when I try to teach my students about machine learning, it's a bit tricky, because so if you have a tool that you say, well, here's the data, press the button, here's the model, it's kind of magic, So it's I appreciate actually the work that you guys are doing that enables almost anyone to really get results. And a lot of the people that we target as Arduino are small and medium companies where people want to use innovative technology, but they simply don't have the skills to go through the classic path to learn about machine learning. They can't hire people from universities. They just want to do things themselves.